Micah is the love of my life. We had our first date, if you could call it that, at Kelowna days. We were too young to date. I was 14 and he was 15. Micah paid $20 to take me up and back down in a helicopter. What a man, I thought, and I was immediately in love. We stayed in touch for a couple of years, and it didn't take very long before we ended up together forever. Micah getting his driver's license made dating much easier. We knew even as a very young couple that we would spend our lives together. It wasn't always easy in the beginning, but our love for each other was so strong, there was nothing that could diminish our bond. Micah was always an extremely cautious person, but eventually he took the leap of faith, proposed, and we are finally married. Micah and I didn't always think that marriage and family was the path we were chosen for, but through some divine intervention we were blessed with two little ones, Miranda and Murdoch, who made our lives so full of happiness and joy. I will never forget how proud Micah was as he held his babies for the first time, and the love he poured over them as he watched their tiny movements and listened to their silly sounds, the sounds of our life. He was a patient, gentle, and nurturing man, though many people may have not known that about him. Sometimes I needed to call him in the middle of his workday for a pep talk. Being home with the kids isn't always easy. Somehow, he always calmed me down. He just had that calming effect. That I miss so much. The past few days, I've continued to pick up my phone and call him for support. His support must now reside within me forever. How can I even begin to imagine a life without this man? I am not sure. Micah was the most selfless father and husband. He wanted nothing more than to provide and give everything he could to me and the kids to make our lives as full as possible. After working hard each day, he came home and was immediately in daddy mode. The little ones lit up with joy every evening when he walked through the door, both running to greet him, smiles on their faces. He would get down to their level and scoop them up for a big hug. "I missed my Miranda Bear and little Murdoch today," he'd say. He'd help me with dinner each night, the kids' bedtime, reading books to the kids and tucking them in with lots of hugs and kisses. After the sun went down, Mike and I sat together under the stars and moon, or sometimes clouds. We talked, we connected, we dreamed, we planned our future lives together. He worked so hard, not just during the day at work, but each evening after the kids were in bed, and every weekend too. I always wondered how a person could be so dedicated to so many different things. Micah was a dabbler. He was always learning new skills and trades. He could do everything, and did do everything. He made our house into a beautiful home. He fixed our vehicles. He worked on his friends' vehicles, took care of the very large yard and very long driveway, carved bows out of Osage orange staves. He hunted, he fished, he went mushroom hunting. He kept up the pond, planted and meticulously cared for dozens of fruit trees and berry bushes. He fixed the appliances. He sewed on the loose buttons. He brushed the kids' teeth. He built a floating dock, made things with leather, some of which he even tanned himself. He built a deck, a retaining wall, began finishing the interior of his shop. Micah was the epitome of jack of all trades. This man could do anything, and if he didn't know how, he just figured it out somehow. He was a logical and scientific thinker. I don't know how he always had the solution to every problem. He was brilliant. I am not sure I fully realized what an absolutely amazing thing we had together. Now I do. It feels as if nothing could ever lessen the pain and feelings of emptiness that we are left with now. I have been told time helps, and we will see. Micah's my friend, my husband, the love of my life. And as we put my love to rest today, please know that this is only his body going into the earth, and his spirit is going to live on in his 2 tiny little children, in the stories his families and friends and loved ones share and continue to share. This life will be a new and lonely one for me, and I am absolutely devastated. But I also know that the years I spent with my husband have been so precious, and those memories will never be taken away. We love you, Micah. We will always love you.